Hey guys, in this video I will be giving you a walkthrough of the first two stages of Shadow of the Orient. My goal with this video is to hopefully help you guys out in understanding the game a little bit better. I've been getting some negative reviews on Google Play, people stating that the game is too difficult to play, and I think if you give the game a little bit of time and kind of learn the mechanics of it, I think you're going to find that it's not quite as difficult as you might think it is. Right, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it here. I currently have the game loaded up, so currently I'm playing on my Windows machine. So this is a desktop build that I'm playing on. But I'm going to walk you guys through the first level and give you guys some pointers. Nice, so skip. Let me just turn off the music for now. Alright, we'll leave the sound effects on. Alright, so in this video I'm actually going to be playing with my Bluetooth controller. But I'll give you guys a couple of quick pointers here if you're playing on mobile. So if you're playing on mobile, during the game you can pause at any time by hitting the pause button. And if you go under options, under controls, you can switch out your mobile controls. So there's a fixed, dynamic, and D-pad options that you have. I believe the default is the fixed control stick, which I think offers a pretty good gameplay experience. I've had some people complaining about the controls as well, saying that the controls aren't that good, but I think this is the best that I can make them. I know mobile controls aren't the greatest, and I know a lot of people don't like them, but it is what it is. I don't think there's really anything more I can do to make them better. My personal favorite is the dynamic control scheme, simply for the fact that I can click anywhere on the left side of the screen and activate that joystick. So it activates more dynamically depending on where you press down on the screen. You'll notice here if I click down on the right side of the screen, nothing happens, but if I press down anywhere on the left, it triggers that control stick. And then recently I made some updates to the D-pad as well, so you'll notice here that I made the left and right directional keys a lot larger, so they're now a lot easier to press. And I should also mention that for the down and up arrow keys, or directional keys, the up directional key is pretty much just used for climbing up ladders, so you're probably not going to be using that button there a whole lot, except for when you're on a ladder. And the down key can be used for crouching under projectiles or finding hidden areas. And the one thing I should mention here is that the crouch or the down directional pad, it actually, when you trigger the crouch state, it actually locks into place. So it has a kind of like a crouch locking mechanism. And the reason for that is because on touchscreen controls, it's kind of difficult to press, right and down at the same time. So I decided to add this crouch locking mechanism to just make it a little bit easier to kind of get, crouch down and stay in that crouched position. And then if you want to exit that crouched position, you just press the up arrow key, and that'll exit the crouch state. And another thing I should mention is that the D-pad controls are customizable, so you can kind of rearrange them if you want. So maybe if you want to do something like this, maybe this might work a little bit better. If you want to bring those keys down on the screen a little bit more, maybe you can do something like that. Or personally, what I like to do is kind of have my left and right keys down here like this, and then I have my up key here and my down key here. Again, these two keys aren't really used as much as the left and right directional keys, so this layout here works particularly well for me. It might not work that well for you, so you might have to get a little bit creative here and come up with a layout that works for you. But this is one that I kind of prefer. And I should mention that the fixed joystick can also be moved around, so if you want to reposition that, you can maybe, if you want to have it more, if you want to push it over a bit more, or maybe tuck it away down into the corner, depending on what your preference is, the game does offer that flexibility. And if you want to quickly reset the positioning of all the buttons, so all the buttons are customizable, and then you can just hit the reset button to reset everything back to their original positions, right? So if I go to D-pad, right, so everything got reset there. Okay, so for this video here, I'm going to be playing mostly with my gamepad. So I'm going to switch back to gamepad. Okay, so when the game starts off, obviously you're going to be able to move left and right. You're going to be able to crouch. You're going to be able to jump, punch. Just play around with the keys, get familiar with everything. And by default, the player or the hero, he has a hand combat system. So you can kind of practice that here right off the bat on these dummies. And kind of just get familiar with how the hand combat system works. Right. So in the game, for the jump mechanic, if you press the jump button down lightly, he'll do like a low jump. And if you hold it down, he does a higher jump, right? So low jump, high jump, low jump, high jump. And if you jump again while in midair, he'll perform a double jump, right? So in order to get across areas such as this one, you're going to have to perform a long jump. So you'll see there that if you get your long jump right, if you get the timing on that right, you'll be able to get across pits like this, no problem. If you do a short jump, which I see a lot of people do, you're not going to make it, right? So I see a lot of people jumping directly into pits because they're not holding down that jump button long enough, right? Like they're doing something like that, and that's going to probably get you killed, right? So try to jump across that by holding down the jump button for a longer period of time, and you shouldn't have any problems getting across these large pits. So the game also has a wall sliding mechanism. Wall sliding is a very important feature of the game, so that's one thing you're going to have to get used to and kind of master. So when you jump on a wall, he'll wall slide, and then you can jump off the wall to get up to those higher ledges. Okay, so just keep that in mind, that wall sliding is an important aspect of the game. And here we have our first enemy. So this is the archer. If I approach him, I can either jump over his arrows or crouch. Crouching is probably the best approach because he won't hit you with them. You can follow up with a crouch attack. When you go into water pits, be aware that there is an oxygen meter, which runs out after 10 seconds, and after that you're going to start to lose damage, or you're going to start to take damage. So you see here that the oxygen meter has run out. Right, so you see there, I just lost a life. Right, I just lost another life bar. Right, and on the first stage, the player death is disabled, so you don't have to worry about dying on the first level. I did that just so it'd be easier for players to, or so that players won't get as frustrated dying so much. Right. Yeah, so here we have two vases. Vases are very important. They contain gems, coins, and potential power-ups, so make sure you break them when you see them. So here we go, we got some gems here. Then there was also a health orb in there, which is good. The game does offer a lot of health orbs. When you kill enemies, they'll drop health orbs. Some of the stronger enemies will drop like power-ups and ranged weapons. So all those things are designed to kind of help you along your journey, so you can keep your player, relatively healthy and strong. If you're not collecting anything, then you're probably going to find that you're going to die a lot more often. So here's one enemy, the first non-static enemy that we're going to approach. And the best way to attack most enemies is to let them charge at you and then jump over them and then attack them from behind. Right? And that strategy works pretty well on most enemies. It won't be as effective on all enemies, but it works pretty good on most enemies. Here we have a ladder which we can climb up. Right, so ladders you can climb up and down. Alright, that vase just gave me a health orb. Let me jump over this guy. So you notice there that the horseman, I was punching him from behind, but he had a quick counterattack, so you got to be careful for that. Some enemies might have a quick counterattack, so that's why I had to punch him twice and then move away, because I knew he was going to do that. Here we have a checkpoint banner. So these black banners trigger a checkpoint. Now the cool thing with the checkpoint is that if I were to restart the level, or if I die and restart, I'm going to restart back at the checkpoint right here. And also if I quit the game, so if I go back to home, that checkpoint actually gets saved. So if I go back to Act 1-1, right, you'll see that I restarted that checkpoint. The reason it was designed like this is because a lot of the levels are pretty long, and I had a few players complaining that that it was a bit of a burden having to start the whole level over again every time they quit the game and went back to replay that particular level. So now if you hit a checkpoint, the game saves your last saved checkpoint or your last triggered checkpoint, and if you quit the game and you go back into it, you're gonna restart at that checkpoint. All right, so here we got the horseman again. Vase. All right, here you're gonna notice that there's a kind of this rock wall, and there's these lighter colored rocks. So with these lighter colored rocks, you can actually climb up them. Right, and you can use these to get to higher areas, and it might lead you to some kind of health orb or power up, or to some higher ledge that you can't reach. So you notice that ledge up there I can't reach by jumping to it, but if I climb up this wall, I can reach it. Here we have a chest, but chests require keys. So the key for this chest is actually in a hidden area, which is actually over here. So every stage has hidden areas, and it's helpful if you find them, because you'll find power-ups in there. So here we have the key for the chest, and here there's a sword that you can playtest, which is Guilong's blade. Damn. Alright, so now I'm just going to go back to that chest real quick. Alright, so chest, when you open up a chest, they'll either give you a power-up or gems or a combination of the two. And here we have the first child of the game. So every stage has 3 children that you're going to have to rescue. You don't necessarily have to rescue them, but if you're like a completionist and you want to, complete the game and, complete all of the achievements and everything, then rescuing the kids might be to your benefit. And then there's these switches that you can trigger to open up these gates. So I'm going to trigger that switch there. Okay, and then when you actually rescue the kid, he'll give you some kind of reward, such as gems or a power-up or a combination of the two. Now you can actually fall through these one-way platforms by pressing down on the jump button, so in case you're not aware of that. Okay, so here we have a ranged weapon. I'm going to pick up this fireball and see the seagull coming in. I just shot it with the ranged weapon. So ranged weapons are very good against aerial enemies. So it'd be a wise choice to hold on to your ranged weapons for some of the harder enemies, or even those aerial enemies. Now for this archer, if I wanted to, I could use my fireball. Right, so I was easily able to kill that guy there. So here's another example of the wall climbing mechanism, or mechanic, which you can use to reach this higher ledge, right? Or you can jump onto this movable item, which is the boulder, and kind of reach there. Ah, crap. Let's try that again. Okay, so I got the knife. Now these stones here, they're actually breakable stones, so I can't break them like this. I can't break them with my hand combat system. That doesn't work. But I can push this boulder and use that to break them. Right? So now I can actually, I can break the rest of those stones with my jump kick. Alright, these are jump pads that you can jump on to get to higher areas. And here we have a Ring of Fire power-up, so if I break this vase, there's the power-up. Alright, so this is a very powerful power-up that you can get. It pretty much kills all enemies with a one hit, and it also blocks all incoming projectiles. So you're pretty much invincible when you have that active, right? And the Ring of Fire typically lasts around 10 seconds. Okay, and here, this is the end of the first level. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the home screen. I'm just going to give you guys a quick walkthrough of the game shop. So for the sake of this video, I actually have my fake store enabled. So I'm going to buy some coins. I'm going to buy some gems. I'm going to go back into game shop. Okay, so as of version 1.57, which was just released yesterday actually, some of these game shop items are now multi-purchasable or multi-stackable. So for the extra life bar, I can purchase this up to 5 times. So I can give my character a max health of 10. So I'm going to purchase this a couple of times. So the default health that you start off with, is 5 health bars. So I'm going to purchase this a couple of times. Right, so that's going to bump me up to 7 health bars. I can also increase my damage duration. So when I take damage from an enemy, the default duration is 3 seconds that I'm invincible for. And if I purchase this twice, I can max it out to 5 seconds. So I'm going to purchase that once. And then we have some other things here that we can purchase. Actually, you know what? Let's max that out to... we'll max that out to 5 seconds. Right. So you'll notice there that I maxed it out, and now it says purchase, and I can't purchase it anymore. And if we keep scrolling through here through the game item list, you'll see here that we can purchase additional ammo for knives and fire. Right, so this is also multi-stackable. So I can purchase this several times to max out my ammo for the knives to 20, and for the fireballs you can level up to a max ammo of 15. You can also increase the knife power, and you can also increase the fire power. And then here we have some abilities for the main player. We have a head stomp ability, I'll purchase that. We have the dash ability, I'll grab that. And we'll grab the triple shot, and we'll grab okay, so we have weapons here. I only have 544. I'll grab Guilong's blade. Alright, so now I'm gonna head on over to Act 2, or Act 1-2. Right, so you'll notice here right off the bat that our health is now increased to a total of 7 health bars, right? And you'll notice here that there's an inventory button that we can use to equip our primary weapon. So that's the blade that we just bought. So this has now been equipped. And you can switch between your hand combat system and your primary weapon. Now, I did purchase the head stomp ability, so I can actually head stomp on enemies now. And I also purchased the dash ability, so I can use this to dash through enemies. Oh, she dropped a ring of fire, cool. Alright, so up here we have a spider enemy. Alright, so see that the spider also dropped a ring of fire. So some enemies will have a 50-50 chance of dropping some kind of power-up or some kind of weapon. Some certain enemies will always drop a particular weapon, such as the dragon. The dragons always drop a fireball. So I'm going to grab this ring of fire. Let's move on over here. So I'll just show you some of the more difficult enemies here. So up here we have a dragon. So you notice that the dragon dropped the fireball. I'm gonna grab that. Oh, another ring of fire, sweet. here we have an Imperial Guard. So the Imperial Guard, if I were to shoot him right now, you'll see that he doesn't take any damage. So he's a little bit tricky to fight. So basically what you got to do with him is lure him in for an attack, and then when his sword is stuck in the ground, you can counterattack. Right? Okay, so that's the end of the second level. So you'll see there that I was able to get through, you know, both levels quite easily. Mind you, I was playing on easy mode. There is a hard mode as well that you can toggle here under difficulty. But I mean, the game, I don't think the game is as difficult as people are you know, saying it is. I think you just have to be a little bit patient, give it a little bit of time, and just learn the game mechanics. And also, once you start to purchase some game shop items, you'll notice that your character is going to get a lot stronger. The weapons are going to get a lot stronger, and yeah. So a lot of these upgrades here are here to help you out, to make the game a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable, and to make your hero more powerful, right? So anyways, guys, that's pretty much an overview of Shadow of the Orient. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you guys are having any trouble, if you guys are running into any problems with the game on either Android or iOS, feel free to hit me up on Discord. I'm going to leave a link to my Discord server down below in the description. You can also reach me through my website, spacelabgames.com. I'll leave a link for that down below as well. And that's it. So guys, I hope you guys found this useful, and thanks for watching. And you know, feel free to download the game. Go to shadowoftheorient.com. You can find the download links there. Play it. Let me know what you think. And again, if you're having any trouble, hit me up on Discord, and I would be more than happy to help you guys out. All right. So anyways, guys, thanks again, and be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.